Anime abilities are freaking awesome. Whether it's magic, quirks, jutsu, devil fruit powers, ki, soul energy, spirit energy, or the ability to inflict a foodgasm, we all love to see the different skills and abilities that we see in any show. And I can almost guarantee that we have all tried using the Kamehameha or tried making shadow clones when we're told to clean our room as a kid. Honestly though, can you imagine how much you can get done in a day with shadow clones? I could get so much content in no time flat. When you stop to think about it though, just how practical are these abilities in real life? In most cases, these abilities would probably make you homeless if you're reckless about it. So, because I've decided to be a stick in the mud, I'm gonna talk about the practicality of said abilities and in the most fun way possible. Tournament bracket! Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Johnny, and welcome to Let's Talk Anime. Before we actually get started with the tournament, we need to set some ground rules. First, one ability per franchise for variety's sake, and said ability has to be used often in its respective series. Vague abilities that can be branched off into all the abilities are not allowed. For example, ki and chakra control. In those cases, use specific jutsus, quote unquote, for lack of a better term. In the case of magic and spells, I will be looking for the type of magic that is being used. And there are some abilities that I wanted to put on this bracket, but couldn't due to the lack of understanding and knowledge of said abilities. So if you don't see an ability that you think should be on this bracket, then I'm probably stupid. All of this will solely be based off of my own opinion in the end, however. If you have your own opinions about the bracket, please discuss in the comments. I would love to hear them. Each ability will be put on the bracket at random using a handy wheel I found online because I'm lazy and I don't feel like actually thinking about placements. We got the Shadow Clone Jutsu from Naruto versus Instant Transmission from Dragon Ball Z. Spatial Magic from Black Clover versus Mirio Togata's Permeation Quirk from My Hero Academia. Gum Gum Fruit Powers from One Piece versus Soul Walking from Noragami. And finally, we have Requip Magic from Fairy Tail versus Telekinesis from Mob Psycho 100. In the starting rounds, I will briefly go over each of the abilities in case you have no clue what I'm talking about or if you just need a refresher. So for the first round, we have Shadow Clones versus Instant Transmission. Instant Transmission is a technique that Goku learns to teleport. As the name suggests, it teleports you instantly to wherever you need to go. The catch is, it takes quite a bit of concentration. Honestly though, if all I needed to do is think hard to go to Japan, I would be doing that all the time. One thing about myself is I hate driving. It's stressful just to drive to the store. If I didn't need to use a car ever, I would take the chance instantly. However, it's going up against the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The Shadow Clone Jutsu is a move that clones the ninja that infuses their chakra and uses the proper hand sign. It has the same amount of physical and mental ability as the user when he casts it. Once the clone dissipates, all the clone's experiences transfer to the original. Most ninja can only make 3 or 4 clones, but can you imagine making clones to do the chores and go to work while you sit at home eating Pocky and watching anime all day? That sounds like heaven on earth. Plus, in my case, I would have multiple clones working with me to make videos, writing my comics, and binge on several animes at once. As much as I would love to teleport everywhere I wanted, I think the Shadow Clone Jutsu is more practical for someone like me who wants to do 50 million things at once. So with that being said, the Shadow Clone Jutsu advances to the next rounds. Up next, we got the Portal Magic from Black Clover versus the Permeation Quirk from My Hero Academia. The Permeation Quirk is used by third year Mirio Togata. The quirk allows him to pass through everything. Literally everything. Light passes through him, making him blind. Air passes through him, making him suffocate. Honestly, at face value, it's a pretty crappy quirk. However, Mirio has shown that with intense training, the quirk can be really, really useful. By activating his quirk in only the places that he wants to, he can pass through whatever he wants without falling through the floor. I can imagine quite a few middle school boys envying this quirk to get a peek in the girls' locker room. Not that I would do something like that. Imagine if your car is locked and your keys are in the car. You could just walk right into the car. Yay! But honestly, I think the biggest downside to the quirk is probably the clothes falling off every time he uses it. Then there's the Spatial Magic from Black Clover. It's a type of magic that bends space in different ways. You can make portals to places you've been to, open a pocket dimension, and teleport things away. Though most people use it for transportation, especially skilled wizard knights can use it for offensive capabilities, such as tearing through everything you see. However, the most practical use of it would definitely be the portals and opening up a pocket dimension. The biggest downside to it, though, is the fact that you have to have been there before you can teleport to it. Kind of annoying, but I guess you'll save a lot of travel expenses. Yeah, this is definitely a tough one to choose, but I think it's mainly because I'm biased towards permeation. Togata is my favorite character in My Hero Academia, hands down. However, it's not that practical for much at all when you think about it. Sure, it can come handy in some ways, but that's about it. Spatial Magic, on the other hand, has many more practical uses for it, and because of this, it advances to the semifinals. Up next is Gum Gum Fruit Powers versus Soul Walking from Noragami. Now, when I say soul walking, I'm referring to Hiyori's ability to let her soul walk around out of her body. She kind of died, but didn't die all the way, and now has narcolepsy, and every time she falls asleep, her soul comes out and leaves her sleeping body behind. Yeah. No normal human can see her in this state, allowing someone with this ability to do things and easily get away with it. Okay, that sounded weird. Man, between this and video and my comfort video, people are gonna think I'm a perv. But can you imagine using it to prank your friends while simultaneously getting the best sleep of your life? I mean, being someone who struggles with sleep, I would like that very much. Gum Gum Fruit Powers are very strange. Your entire body becomes rubber, allowing you to stretch your limbs over long distances, become super strong, and be bulletproof. Honestly, I think it'd be quite fun having a body made of rubber. Luffy seems to enjoy it. Oh my gosh! I just realized the most practical use for it. How could I have been so blind? Because your body is made of rubber, your stomach stretches like crazy, allowing you to eat as much as you want. And because your body is made of rubber, you can't get fat. That's the only explanation for Luffy eating so much and is still as thin as a rubber pencil, I guess? Yep, that settles it. Gum Gum Devil Fruit Powers advance. Side note though, Soma Yukihira's cooking versus Luffy's stomach. Debate in the comments. Moving on! Requip Magic from Fairy Tail versus Telekinesis in Mob Psycho 100. Honestly, if you don't know what Telekinesis is, you've been living in the bottom of the Mariana Trench sucking volcanic gases to make you high. The ability to move objects with your mind, regardless of weight or size. Just imagine what you could do with that. You could clean your room just by thinking it. You wouldn't have to do anything by hand ever again. But Requip Magic is a type of magic that allows the user to store hundreds of items in a pocket dimension and summon it instantly. In some cases, armor and clothing is stored there, and you never have to change your clothes by hand again. Plus, if you need a new shirt, bam, new shirt. Forgot about your date to the prom? I'm sorry, but this probably doesn't apply to anyone watching this video at all. Unless you're freaking normie. Yeah, as much as I'm a fanboy for Fairy Tail, the Telekinesis advances. You can do a lot more with that than Requip Magic. And with that being said, we move on to the anime finals! Yay! The rounds from now on will be going much quicker now that I've explained the powers. Mostly because I don't feel like explaining it all over again. But anyway, up first, it's the Shadow Clones versus Spatial Magic. Honestly, I'm not one to travel places. When people say, let's go do something, I suggest playing video games or watching anime. I don't go out much, unless I have to. It's not that I don't want to see different parts of the world, it's just I'd rather do it with someone, I guess. But if it's just going to like a museum or a park, I'll stay home, thanks. And since Spatial Magic requires me to do the work before it becomes useful, Shadow Clones advances next round. Gum Gum Devil Fruit powers versus Telekinesis. Well, we all know which one's more practical, and that is clearly the Gum Gum Fruit. No, I'm kidding. There's no practical use for it at all. Sorry, One Piece fanboys and fan whammon. Telekinesis advances to the finals just cause it can do anything almost. So we got Shadow Clones versus Telekinesis in the finals. I honestly had a hard time deciding on the winner. I went on Discord servers and Twitter to set up polls, and most of you guys seemed to think that the Shadow Clones are more practical. I also asked my friend Jared for help, and he said it better than I would have ever. They both have their strengths. Telekinesis is pretty self-explanatory. Moving crap with your mind, it would be pretty useful. However, a cloning ability is super useful since you could be in more than one place at once, and personally, I would prefer that in everyday life, be at home and at work at the same time. Thanks for your help, Jared. I completely agree with his assessment and all your guys' votes, which means the Shadow Clones wins this bracket. We got the champion! Shadow Clones, yay! Totally not biased. This video style was inspired by another YouTuber, Briggs from All Day Anime. If you like this kind of style, definitely let me know in the comments and go check him out. He's a really cool guy. And special thanks to Tora, the editor of this video. We will be seeing Tora's work in all, if not most, of my upcoming videos. Go check Tora out on Twitter and show some love. If you have any more ideas for brackets, let me know in the comments or on Twitter, link in the description below. If you liked, leave a like and subscribe for more anime rants and more things, maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll see. And I'll see you then.